Sometimes the world no longer needs a hero. Sometimes what it needs is a monster.
Probably help if I had the keys. What up guys, back with another video. Today I'm going to be working on my Blazer and undoing some of the stuff that we have already done. Unfortunately, you know, that moving backwards thing that I like to talk about. In the process of getting this thing put together, I ran into some problems, and some problems have come up. Like, this thing was running great. For whatever reason, it just stopped running great. And now it well, I guess realistically it was running great because I just kept starting it and just kind of driving in front of the house. But whenever you actually take it out on the road, drive it for a little bit longer than just a couple of minutes, you start having problems. This thing starts cutting out really bad. I don't know what's causing it. I would imagine it's probably throwing codes, but I'm not capable of reading codes because I don't have the OBD port. So I am going to be replacing the harness, and I'm gonna go ahead and take this harness off right now. That's what I'm gonna start today off doing, is just getting this harness pulled. So yeah, something that I'm not necessarily looking forward to doing, and I'm not exactly excited about, but it's gotta be done. So let's get it done. And you see how much of a freaking genius I am? I didn't finalize all this wiring over here just in case we had a troubleshoot. And yeah, if I would have went through the pain in the ass process of getting this all complete, wire loomed and all that, I'd be tearing it apart right now. So yeah, I just pull the harness out, man. It's no big deal, right? Well, I need to pull the starter out. To get the harness out, you gotta pull the starter out, because I forget. I think it's the oil level sensor that's plugged in behind the starter, and then of course you got to get the wires off of the starter. It's just easier to pull it. I don't even remember what size it is. It's either 13 or 15. It seems like everything is 13 or 15 on this. Can't forget my headlight. These things are really dope whenever you're underneath the car. For whatever reason, this was a lot harder to take out than what it was to put in. I was very close to cutting it out. Anyhow, there is our harness. There is the harness that I made. So, like I said, I don't think that there's really a problem. I don't know, man. The way the Blazer is acting, I don't know what it could be. The facts here are we don't have problems with the transmission. The transmission is not electrical. So there's no issues there. The only thing that's electrical is the engine. This engine came out of the Tahoe, as you guys know. I pulled this engine myself from a running and driving Tahoe that had 0 issues other than it was in an accident, and the front wheel was like all bent and shit. But yeah, I was able to drive that thing to my backyard and out front and did a big old burnout out front. Like, it ran fine, it ran great. So the only variable here that we have added is wiring, so the harness. And I'm thinking that that is probably where my problem is lying. So, ta-da! So this is an eBay harness. Yes, this is the exact same harness that Braven ordered for his Colorado. I got this for under 100 bucks. I think it was like $98 altogether. And if you guys remember, Braven had 0 issues and still remains to have 0 issues with his wiring, with his harness, man. We put Braven's engine in, he ran his harness and everything. You know, he had some stuff to figure out that was Colorado specific, but other than that, his truck fired up and he had 0 issues. So a couple really big differences here that I'm excited about with this harness is this is the one that I did. It's got our fuse box. These are our clips for the ECU. And you see the length of this for one. Like, this is what's made it really limited as to where it is I can actually put the ECU. But it's not only the length, but like it's not very flexible. You know what I'm saying? In order to like maneuver it and get it around inside the engine bay. So this eBay harness, dude, this is freaking nuts how long this is. So yeah, this is the length that I have for now to place my ECU wherever it is that I want. So not only that, this is also a lot more flexible for whatever freaking reason. And yeah, the wires that are going into the clips here, they're not just all super tight and like, I don't know. I tried my best with this harness. If you look down here, so you see how tight the wires ended up being. And honestly, it's hard to plug one clip in and like to plug both of them in at the same time. You have to. And whenever you're starting those bolts to bolt it up, you have to kind of tighten them at the same time, or else it starts putting tension on the wires. And yeah, this is just not like that. So it's like a completely separate pigtail for the red clip versus the blue clip, which is really nice. There's that, and then the fuse box. If you look at the fuse box, look at all the power wires that are running into that. There is a lot of power wires running into that for all of the sensors and everything throughout the harness, where on mine, I was following a diagram, you know, like I said many times, this is my first time doing this, but there's nowhere near as many power wires going into the actual harness. Like literally every single power on here jumps into one and then comes up to here. Actually, there's 2. So like all of the injectors and the coil packs and all that stuff, all the powers for that on the passenger side goes into one power wire. All the power wires for that stuff on the driver's side goes into one power wire. I don't know if that's a problem. I don't know if that is causing too much, like if that's too much draw for one power wire. And maybe that's the reason why it keeps on going into some kind of limp mode. And whenever I shut it off, it's like it resets and then it'll run normal again. I don't know. This harness is just, it's a lot better made. It's a much better piece than what it is that I try to do. Not to mention, we also have the OBD port, so I can run codes. So that comes already pre-wired, and it has a length of wire that you are able to install this underneath the dash somewhere. And then all of this stuff, all of this is basically all the stuff that I was running for my gauge cluster. So like oil pressure and temperature and all this stuff. These are the wires that you run to the gauge cluster. I'm pretty sure that most of them anyhow, every single one of those wires is labeled inside of this little pamphlet. So whenever I get to that point, we'll do that. The only problem that I am seeing, which isn't, I mean, it's a problem, but I'm gonna need to order some stuff. So I'm gonna have to get a jumper to go from, this is an EV1 style injector clip. So, and that is not the style injectors that we have on the Blazer. We have this style. I don't even know what this is called, but I'm gonna look it up. I'll figure out what it's called, and what I'm gonna do is just order a jumper for now until I get new injectors later. I was actually talking to Hunter from Hunter Tuned. He might send a set of injectors out for us. I'm hoping that his injectors are the EV1 style. Anyhow, that's not going to help us right now. I'm going to go ahead and start on getting the harness in there, and we can only get as far as we can get, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to need to order obviously those jumpers for the injectors. And I noticed another problem is, that's the alternator. I think this is it. Yeah, this is my mass airflow sensor. So this is a 3-wire, where the mass airflow sensor that is on my truck or on the Blazer is a 5-wire. So the plug is different, but I actually have a 3-wire mass airflow sensor right here. This came off of that Corvette that I had a long time ago. So yeah, this was an actual LS1. This came off of an aluminum block 5.7 liter LS1, which I beat myself up every time I think about the fact that I had that engine sitting back there for like 3-4 years, bro. And then I sold it right before I got into doing all this LS shit, man. If you guys didn't know, that is the perfect engine to get. The aluminum block 5.7 liter. 5.7 will hold up to boost better than like the 6.0 liters or the 6.2 liter. And the aluminum block is just way lighter on the front end of a rear wheel drive vehicle. It's all the way around the best block basically you can get, in my opinion anyway. And I had one complete, ended up selling it right before I started all this LS shit, which is ridiculous. And now you can't find one for less than like $4,000, and it's like, and that's just for the engine that you still need to do a bunch of work to. Anyhow, guys, I'm rambling. I'm talking and talking. That's because it's really hot out here, and honestly, I don't feel like doing this, but we got to get it done. So I'm gonna get to work. I am actually really hoping that this damn thing still works. It's been in the backyard for a minute, bro, and it's kind of went to hell. I mean, it doesn't look terrible, but it has fallen from high places. Oh man, remember this was sitting on top of the booth. The exhaust fan box on the booth. It was sitting up there, and the wind one day knocked this thing all the way to the ground. It's gotten a little bent up in some places, but hopefully everything is still in working order. It'd probably help a little bit inside of the garage. I mean, it's gonna add a level of humidity for sure, but hold that really quick. My starter bolt. Ever have a dent inside of your swamp cooler that you need to get out? Use a starter bolt from an LS. Works perfectly. Okay, fan, come on, you can do it. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Yeah, something needs to be redirected. Good lord. Ow! That's why it was hard to open. My finger was there. Damn it. What are you doing in there, buddy? Oh, that one's completely disconnected. Shit, dude. Okay. It needs some work. This is just... Oh.
Oh, it doesn't have the angle downwards.
Yeah, and this one's broken. Son of a bitch, bro. Where's the little 90 thing? Where'd it go? I wonder if some duct tape will fix this one.
Some flex tape. Good old duct tape rule.
Of course it's not that easy. Why would I think it'd be that easy?
It's never that easy. I think some duct tape right here will do the job.
Oh, probably just stand back in case it throws spiders out.
Yeah.
Or imagine a couple black widows. Ah! Well, it feels good, but
it definitely feels good.
it's not gonna self-wet the pads. You know?
It's about the best we're gonna get here. I'll just stand here all day and hold it for you.
For sure. All right, well, I tried. Either way, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this harness on, and I have come to terms with the fact that I'm not gonna be able to start this thing today. I did end up ordering some conversion adapters, some jumpers for the injectors, so those will be here tomorrow, thankfully. Well, I'd imagine they probably have kits for this at Home Depot or something, so I'll have to run up there and get a kit to fix this, because yeah, it would be really nice to have the swamp cooler working. Well, it was a nice thought. For now, I think I'm just gonna kick this air conditioning on. If I can get this thing to kind of blow my direction, since we're gonna be right there in the engine bay basically the entire time, it helps if you're standing in front of it. It just doesn't cool off like the entire garage. It doesn't even matter if you have the garage door shut. It's still just hot as hell in here. All right, so I don't know if I have mentioned this already in this video. Honestly, all the footage you guys have seen so far has been the course of a few days, man. I've had a lot of stuff going on, like that's not YouTube related that I've been dealing with. Like, nothing crazy, just I've had a lot of shit going on that has been kind of taking up my time, you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to get a video out, and I'm also trying to get this harness swapped out on the damn Blazer. I don't remember if I've already mentioned this or not, is what I'm getting at, is I want to make some room inside of this engine bay. Things kind of got cluttered like really fast, especially trying to use all the factory stuff. This overflow, as you guys know, ended up cracking. Not to mention, I also have the hose for the overflow. It runs all the way over here and comes to here. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this overflow out and get probably a smaller one, man, and just mount it up over here. Just something off of Amazon or something, dude, for an overflow. And I'm also thinking about relocating the battery and putting the battery in the back. With the overflow out of here, well, with a much smaller overflow mounted over here, maybe relocate the battery. I'm not going to do that right now because I don't have everything I need to do it. I got to order, or actually I just want to go down and get some welding wire to run it back there. I'm trying to make some space in here for a damn intake, bro. Not only an intake, but also to just kind of clean the engine bay up to where it doesn't look so damn cluttered. This thing got really cluttery looking, like really fast, man. We still have the whole air conditioning contraption to put inside of here. Anyhow, another thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and run the ECU inside of the truck. Now, the way this harness is set up is it has this big rubber grommet right here that you can run through the firewall. And this is all of the wiring that would run to your gauge cluster, basically. And then you have a fuse box. This is gonna be the only thing that's gonna be like, shit, I gotta find somewhere to put that. You know, well, that and the ECU. But I just think it's gonna be a lot cleaner to find somewhere to put all that inside of the Blazer. The only issue that I know I'm gonna run into is there's really no room, like inside of the dash. The entire bottom of this dash is completely closed off. I believe this is just all the air conditioning stuff. I don't know if there's really, oh Jesus, this is that, yep, that's missing some screws. This has been in here since I got the damn truck. Anyhow, I don't know if there's any room behind the glove box. Shit, I don't know. If you guys can see, I'm clearly very indecisive about this, but I feel like I need to make this decision right now because, come on, lock in there. I'll fix that one day. Don't fall. Anyhow, I need to make this decision because you see that big hole in the firewall? That is where the factory engine harness came through and plugged into the factory ECU, which I think that is in here still. I feel like I need to tear this damn dash out to figure out what it is that I can do inside of there and what kind of room I have in there, and to kind of clean it up. See, all these wires right here used to run into the engine bay, and a lot of it's for the air conditioning. I think most of it is for the air conditioning. It's just I'm not 100% certain that that's all that it's for. Like there's a power wire here, there's a ground here, there's some very large clips that plug into stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm pretty sure that most of this is AC. Anyhow, the reason why I say I need to decide right now is because that hole right there looks like it's going to be the perfect size for this rubber grommet. But the problem is I need to run the engine harness through the firewall that direction for it to fit. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't run the engine harness on the engine and then fit these big clips and this fuse box through that hole in the firewall. But I can fit all of that through that hole in the firewall. So I need to make that decision now. And honestly, I think I would rather take the path of having less inside of the engine bay. Because like I said, I'm trying to make room in there. So yeah, I think I'm just going to send it. Go ahead and put the engine harness out the firewall this way, leaving the ECU clips and this fuse box and everything on the inside of the car. That also has our OBD port on the inside of the car. So yeah, screw it, I'm gonna do it that way. Oh, there's a ground, nifty. Alright, the harness is all plugged in for the most part, except for the injectors, of course. I'm waiting for those adapters to come in tomorrow. The power, I still need to hook up down here to the starter. So this harness gets its power through these two wires right here, and you actually plug these in. You bolt these down with the starter, with the main power that runs over the starter. So I still got to do that and bolt the starter back down. Other than that, the temperature sensor, obviously the clip on this is a two wire temperature sensor. As you guys know, I just put a 3-wire in there, which cost me like $80 to do that. So damn near the cost of this harness, LOL. Anyhow, other than that, also this has a 5-pin mass airflow sensor on it. 3 of those pins is for the MAF sensor itself. 2 of them is for the intake air temperature, which is built into this 5-wire setup. This is an LS1 harness. It has a 3-wire plug for the MAF sensor, and then it has a separate plug right here that has 2 pins on it. That is for the intake air temperature sensor. So the older LS, I guess, had 2 separate sensors for that, which the newer one has the intake air temp built into it. So I need to figure out what it is I'm going to do with that. I either need to run a 3-wire MAF sensor, which I have one that came off that old Corvette that I had, and then figure out the intake air temp sensor to add that in somewhere, or I need to see if I can just take all 5 of these wires and connect it to that plug that'll plug into this MAF sensor. So it's basically my 2 options. Anyhow, I'm gonna go ahead and swap that coolant temperature sensor out for now, put the 2-wire back in, get the starter bolted up. Then we need to make a list of shit I have to get to move forward. Nice. That was under pressure.
Is that what I just heard? Dude, I thought that was the washing machine.
No, that was my coolant temp sensor. That was very much so under pressure.
Jesus Christ. It sounded like the washing machine started up.
Dude, it shot freaking all over me. I think it's fair to say there wasn't a leak. When's the last time I started this? You know what I mean? It's had that much pressure in there the whole time. Like,
yeah,
definitely no leaks.
that's good.
Good Lord.
Well, there's a little bit of leak now.
Oh, funny guy. All right, harnesses ran, and I need to order a battery box. Oh, honestly, I'm still trying to decide whether I'm gonna put the battery in the back or not. So I'm kind of thinking if I do get rid of this ginormous overflow and do like a smaller aluminum overflow over here, get rid of that, I might be able to run an intake to where it goes straight and then angles down, and it would basically take up this area that overflow is at. I mean, it would be a good improvement to move the battery to the back, to lose some weight on the front end and move some weight to the back. But at the same time, like, this isn't like a full-blown race car. Like, I don't really need to worry about that kind of shit. Like, the battery would be perfect right here. And speaking of batteries, bro, I got a brand spanking new battery for the Blazer. Huge shout out to a subscriber named Ernesto who stopped by the house. He actually stopped by on my birthday. I was inside showering. Braven was outside. And like, I guess he was stoked to see Braven. And then he drove by the other day when I was out here, and you know, screamed out, "What's up, bro? I watched the channel," and this and that. So he said he was gonna stop back by with a battery, and he did, bro. So I got a brand spanking new battery thanks to Ernesto. If you're watching this, bro, I most certainly appreciate you. Now I don't have to switch back and forth from the Suburban to the Blazer. But yeah, put in the comments down below, man, what you guys think I should do. Should I just leave the battery here? I mean, it's already set up, you know what I'm saying? We have our power and our ground, and it's already got a place to go. Or should I just put the work in and move it to the back? If I move it to the back, I obviously need to get wire and stuff. I need to get wire anyhow. I do want to run a larger gauge wire for the charge wire from the alternator to the battery. And now I need to figure out all this fiasco again. I got to get this all tied into the engine harness. And now we'll be able to get rid of all that. So I'll be able to just kind of figure out where everything's got to go, make a harness for that, and then basically run it back inside to where all the wiring is for the ECU now. And that will get rid of a bunch of clutter inside of the engine bay. Also getting rid of that big ass overflow and converting over to a smaller one. So it'll kind of equal out, bro, with once I do put the AC box in, batteries here. Now I don't have to worry about having the ECU and everything all up here. And then we'll have room for the intake. And hell, I might be able to go ahead and throw the wiper, the windshield washer fluid tank right there now, since now I'm not putting the ECU there. But I don't know, man, we'll figure it out. Dude, I'm really happy I went with this harness. Now you see how much is inside of the cab of the Blazer, and that rubber grommet that was on here, like, it can slide and you can put it wherever it is you need, and it was the perfect size for that to seal it up. So yeah, I still have all this I need to do. Yeah, we really didn't get much done in this video, man, and I've been slacking. I think it's been close to a week now since I've even put a video up. It's just been really hot, dude. It's been really hard to get out here with how hot it's been. Yeah, so, but I am gonna try it. But I'm gonna try to pick it back up. I gotta get back on a routine, getting a video up every day for you guys. But right now, I'm gonna go ahead and end this here. I actually got a new toy that I want to go and mess with. I'll probably make a whole separate video on it. But I'm gonna go do a little bit of recording of the CR-V, and I think it's gonna be pretty obvious what it is I ended up getting. But anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry it took me so long to get it up. Peace out, and I'll see you on the next one.